What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're going over the Tier 7 battleship from the upcoming French Battleship line, the Lyon, and this is probably one of the more anticipated battleships from this line. Just a little side note, this ship is currently work in progress, as is the entire line, since it isn't completely done and could be subject to change. This subject to change could be changed at any moment. And as you can see, we are two brothers, so everybody but me and this brave little Cleveland went to one side, and we're going to try to hold this whole team down if we can by ourselves. So the reason Lyon is one of the more anticipated ships is because it shoots out 16 shells in one salvo. 16, you say? Talk about shotgun. Now, we've seen kind of shotgun-esque, like the Fuso, really a lot of the 2.6s, but this is the first time I've ever seen 16 shells in one salvo, so it's pretty nuts and a lot of fun to play. I think it's been getting a lot of grief kind of on the dispersion. You keep hearing Sigma, this line has bad Sigma problems, Sigma this, Sigma that. Imagine if this ship had an insanely high or insanely good accuracy with 16 shells going out. It would be insane. You would have like Nikolai level insanity with more shells going out. Now, one of the things about this ship is it has one of the smaller calibers for this tier. For battleships at 340 millimeters, the only thing that's a shorter or smaller caliber is the Scharnhorst, I think at 281. Other than that, everything is pretty close to 400, if not bigger than that. So one of the smaller calibers, but you're shooting lots of them. Basically, this is like the French shotgun. So as you can see, our entire team is going to one side, but we're starting to get some stragglers. I never get that play. Usually the best way to play this kind of stuff is one person goes kind of, you know, half the team kind of goes one way, half the team kind of goes the other. Whichever side ends up getting less ships towards it, that side just pushes through. This time we had a ton of people besides me and this Cleveland go to the east side. They started losing those ships, and then they started like kind of rolling back to our side. So me and this Cleveland kind of play out of our minds a little bit, and we misjudged that. So as you can see, it has a decent little dispersion. It's just there's so many, and I'm gonna keep calling this kind of the French shotgun, if you will, because 16 shells is pretty insane. We dunked that Cleveland for a nice little salvo and gonna start working on it, but he does get back out in time. The ship does have currently a 30-second reload, so if we had a little bit faster, we would have probably got him right there, but we'll work on this Duke of York and the other battleship, the New York as well, since the New York is kind of squishy, if you will, not too much armor there, it seems like, and even the 340s can do work. So the thing about this ship is it has a smaller caliber, so one of the downsides is, you know, the big shells of a tier 7, so like a Colorado, Nagato, those big caliber shells they can pen whenever they want. You know, if you've ever played against Colorado and they shoot you, they're going to hit you, and they're going to hit you hard. This, though, it's going to hit you decently if you're giving it broadside. So you can bounce a lot of this. A lot of people have been using HE on this ship and testing out, because imagine throwing out 16 shells of HE on anything, you will kind of do it. And I believe this salvo kind of shows off kind of what the 340 millimeter shell can kind of do. And right now we're talking in chat about everyone's hearing this ship is bad, and I don't think this ship is bad at all. I think it's a fine ship. I enjoy playing this ship. I enjoy playing this entire line. It's very unique, and if you've ever played like the French cruisers, you know that it's not the strongest line. So right there, we hit them actually with a lot of shells. Technically we hit them, but only one full pen, one over pen, 2 ricochets, and 2 breaks. So out of that, we don't, you know, we're not going to get those massive hits, although against cruisers you can absolutely blast them off the map. So that's kind of what you're going to be doing. You're going to be really good against destroyers, kind of doing a shotgun-esque style, really good against cruisers. Think of it almost like kind of how the Nikolai plays, and you can just be very brutal to certain ships. So we had, as I said earlier, we had almost our entire team going off to one side, and now they're slowly starting to lose ships over there, even though they have the advantage number-wise. Somehow they're losing ships. I don't get it. And and slowly people are starting to trickle back to the west side. I don't get why. They should just stayed and pushed that side. I'm kind of holding this off. I'm waiting for that Bliss, but we did see that the Bliss is over there, so I turned around and started putting some pressure on these guys. The faster we can work on this Duke of York, the faster I can push that New York, and the faster I can take down that Cleveland as well. So, but really, this is a fun ship. 16 shells. I can't say that enough. 16 shells. So if you've ever played like the Fuso, if you've ever played really any of the tier sixes, the New Mexico, all of them seem to kind of have that that almost shotgun effect, and it's pretty fun to play. We're already at 48k. We're just kind of working stuff. You're really against battleship versus battleship. You're going to be overall, I guess, kind of weaker to most ships because you don't have those big calibers, but you will be able to absolutely punish like broadsides. Like we've got some 10k salvos. There's a nice little hit on the Cleveland, and so we're going to start putting some pressure. And actually, with this armor, these have been brawling pretty well. Been able to balance a lot of stuff. As you can see in a little bit, I will get into a situation where I'm kind of surrounded by stuff, and I do take a couple big hits, but I feel like if I was in something else, I would have probably got hit a little bit more. Our Grass Bay going a little aggressive right here, and decides to just charge this guy. The guy's doing a good job at kiting him. He's trying to get his torps or something on him, and not much we can really do. So I think we split him right here, and hopefully try to get some more alpha damage. Work on him right there. I'm debating going HE on this. So, as you can see, right there, you know, as this whole line goes, you are going to get kind of hit and miss. That's how it kind of works. You know, it seems like the French battleships, as I said kind of a little while ago, the French battleships are almost like the French cruisers in the way that they're not the strongest, but they're very fun to play. They're very unique. There's stuff you haven't really seen before. Here's what should have been a nice little salvo, but as you can see, we only got 4,000 damage there on one I thought would have been pretty solid. But still, we're just working, continuing to pump out. Remember, each set of 2 is 8 shells going out, which is pretty nuts. So if they do connect, they will absolutely obliterate. And really, you know, 63k at 9 minutes into the game, where there's only been, you know, a couple ships, as our team is just absolutely getting obliterated right now. That's actually still pretty good. So we're gonna get pretty aggressive on this guy. I didn't think there was anything else over here, so I'm gonna turn in. I'm gonna basically give him my broadside. That's kind of fine, or get in a very, very aggressive mood because, one, our team is getting obliterated. We've lost almost every ship on the other side, and that's not really what you want to see. So right here, a little bit of a mediocre dispersion, but it was only 1 turret, which is all right. We have 12 more shells loaded up and ready to go, and I figured I would just kind of push him. Now, you're going to basically see what the 340s are battleship versus battleship right here. I'm going to be pretty damn close. You're going to see how many citadels I get on this guy. And again, if this thing was hitting harder and hitting more accurately, I think it would be a little bit too strong. But for what this ship does well, and of course we have a Congo going mid, which is never good. So we're working our butts off right now. And so the New York is coming. I did not think he would go here, but I thought I was going to absolutely obliterate this guy. Maybe we were a little farther back, and we just got 4 full pens right there. So, and of course he's going to hit me a little bit harder back. Not the best trade, but shot is in here, and I was like, okay, we'll hit him this time with citadels. So there's the 340s right there. They are a smaller caliber. They won't hit, you know, a bigger caliber. Like, let's say if I was a Colorado right there, we probably would have citadeled him and probably just blew him off the map. Maybe 2 or 3 citadels right there. I mean, we still did 20k, which is, you know, nothing crazy. But if you do play this, you're going to be kind of in that Scharnhorst realm of damage. You're not going to get that, you know, that big citadel, you know, hits on battleships, but so you're going to be aiming higher up. So you're going to be aiming for that upper armor belt, that superstructure, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what you're going to be aiming for with those smaller calibers, because you just don't have the ability to really get that full pen and do that massive citadel. You'll get through the armor, but not really hit that citadel. So kind of a little bit of a downside of this. Luckily, the New Mexico shot AP and actually hit me pretty hard. Then he switches to HE for some reason. So I figured the York, he was hitting him really hard. He was chunking him down. So I figured he would kind of finish him. And he kept shooting at him. So I was going to start working on this guy. You know, another nice little 8k salvo. That seemed to be the pattern with this ship, is you're pumping out 16 relatively small calibers, quote unquote small, 340 millimeters. But you weren't really getting those massive citadels. Now, there were a couple games where I just absolutely obliterated cruisers. Fijis, I think there was a couple shores, a couple Miyokos, where you just wiped them off the entire map. But battleship-wise, it seemed to be the pattern of I was getting a lot of between 6 to 10k salvos on them, which is still good. You know, you're still hitting them for 15-20% of their life. but I wasn't getting that big citadel damage and that big hit you normally see from a battleship. But again, you're trading, you know, quantity over quality, if you will, with this battleship. You know, 16 shells going out, it's 100% quantity over quality. So you're hitting a lot of smaller hits, but you're hitting a lot more frequently, if that makes any sense. So all in all, this ship was pretty damn fun. Our Congo's down there. He's actually going to end up getting a kill on the Nicholas. And we're just going to kind of push up and be relatively aggressive. We held down this whole left side kind of by ourselves. And it makes sense because in a little bit you'll see, I think I'll end up looking at this this Arizona. He's full life and heading back towards our cap. I don't know what he's really doing. And we're going to get a little bit more aggressive and kind of just push in. There's nothing really holding us down. I switched back and forth between the HE and AP while I was checking out this this ship, and this Congo was purely focused. They have a Buis and a Buis and a Nicholas right now. And he was purely focused on the Buis the entire time. So I told him to aim for the Nicholas. He actually gets the kill pretty quick. So right here too, I think I get the kill right here. If I remember, he ends up taking out our poor little York friend, which I was trying to save him from. Probably if I didn't type there, I would have saved him. So down he goes, and really the rest of this game is pretty mediocre, pretty kind of boring, but we end up getting some decent damage. We end up getting we helped the Arizona get the kill on the other battleship, and so we're just kind of fast forward through this and kind of just ended up our Congo gets the kill on the Nicholas, and we're gonna go. So for the Lyon, I like this ship. It's a lot of fun to play, and I think a lot of people are really excited for this ship because all in all, it's different. We've never really seen a ship like this. We've seen a ship kind of played like this, but we've never seen a 16 shell, you know, whatever, this shotgun style coming out of a battleship before. And I find that very fun. I find this line to be very unique, and I find this line very fun to play. And I think this is the one of the ships that's pretty damn people are excited for because it's so different and people are intrigued by this. I think the ship's going to be a lot of fun. Will it be competitive? I think it will be good at, like I said, it's going to be good at killing destroyers. It's going to be killing cruisers. But, you know, if it's ever tier 7 ranked, I don't know how good it will do because it is going to be kind of mediocre good at battleship versus battleship. But again, it has high AA. You didn't get to see it in this game because there wasn't a CV. And really, I feel like this thing has a lot of potential, and I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy it because we haven't seen this kind of play. I love new styles of ship, new place, you know, ways to play this this game when it comes into this ship. You kind of get into the routine of playing the same thing over and over and over, and when you see something new, you kind of I'm excited for it. So again, guys, this is work in progress, so it's subject to change, and it could change before it's officially released. I don't think it will. I don't think this thing's incredibly overpowered. I don't think it's too underpowered either. I think it's going to be fun, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. So that is it, though. The Lyon, the tier 7 battleship for the French Battleship line, which is coming to World Warships soon. Again, work in progress. And that's my quick little preview over it, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. A nice little 120-some thousand damage game. We'll take that all day in a tier 7. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.